I'm John Hunter. I've been an elementary school teacher for most of my adult life. In 1978, I invented a geopolitical simulation I call the World Peace Game. It's a gigantic plexiglass structure, thousands of game pieces on levels that emulate the planet Earth, undersea, ground and sea, aircraft level and outer space level. And I have my 30 or 40 students sit around this structure for several weeks, and I give them 50 interlocking complex world problems to solve. I don't know how they're going to solve them. I don't know myself how to solve them. But because they believe that I believe they can, they have saved the world literally year after year since 1978. I call it teaching from the empty space. The game itself really, there's not much there. Plexiglass, clear glass, a few small plastic pieces. It's really a ruse. It's really just a trick to get the students to engage more deeply. What do they love? They love game playing. So I used a game to channel their passion, their interest in 1978 into solving large, complex problems. And I think 3 practices came out of this for me. The first thing I had to do in learning to implement this game or any kind of curriculum really is I had to first, before I even got to the classroom, begin to understand and know who I was. Because I have my own background, my own history, my own predispositions, my own prejudices, my own biases. And those things can be so subtle, they can get in the way of me actually being a good teacher. So I have to engage in continual self-introspection to weed out these problems, these difficulties, these flaws. And they keep coming back, so it's a continual process, but a relentless process every day before I go in the classroom, so I can provide the most clear, open teaching, uninhibited by my own background, my own biases. So that's the first step, some very intense and continuous self-reflection. And I teach it to my students as well. Before they begin anything, they find out who is there, who is really there, who's in the beginning of the process before we even approach the actual work itself. The second step I like to think about is having a real interest and a real care about who's in the room, about who they are. I have to know who my students are individually. I have to know what they're about and what they love and what they care about. If I can find out somehow what they really care about, what they really love, I have them. Because I will simply pay close attention to what they care about, respect it, show that I understand, find out, do some research myself to learn more about what they care about. And in that showing of caring, they find a colleague, a companion, and they become excited because someone is listening to them, someone cares about them. It's not a one-way street, top-down from teacher to student. There's a collegiality, there's a partnership developing. And I ask them about their passion, and I want to do that because their passion then, I use that passion to build curriculum. I take their main interest or main love and build curriculum around and to that. Their passion actually powers the learning because it's tied to, deeply connected to, what I must teach, what I'm charged with teaching. So that kind of, I guess, subterfuge in a way, is a way that students become empowered and become interested in what I have to offer, what I'm supposed to offer. They feel suddenly that it's part of what they want, what they like, and what they care about. And that passion, that interest in what they want to do makes everything possible. Suddenly I have a room full of co-collaborators. I have a room full of teachers. If I have 30 students, I have 30 co-teachers. The first thing I ask students when I walk into a classroom, I say to them, here's what we have to teach. Here's what our school district or school board or the principal, headmaster says we have to do. How do we do it? And I look around the room and I get sort of blank stares, and I can hear the wheels turning and the questions going, why is he asking us what we want to do? Isn't he supposed to tell us what we're supposed to do? Once they get over that convention, then it's all bets off. They realize suddenly someone's taking them seriously, someone cares about what they think about, and someone is empowering them to make decisions about their own destiny. And I realize it's rather rare that a student can make larger decisions about their own destiny. It's sort of preset for them in most cases. And I like to think my teachers, I had fantastic, great teachers. I stand on the shoulders of so many fantastic teachers. They all made space for me to find out, first, who I was, what passion I had, and then they built or applied curriculum to what I cared about. It felt as if this was my unit, my work, my semester, my unit of study. And really, they were very clever in disguising their need and marrying it, paralleling it with mine, so that they merged, really. And I think that was the greatest thing. And you know, this world peace game, the children are empowered to decide, make decisions. The empowerment is within the game because it's so complex, one individual cannot do it. I, as the inventor, adult creator, cannot do it. And I tell them, whenever they ask me, how should we do it? What can we do? What is the way? What's the best way? I have to honestly say, I don't know. What do you think we should do? And it's wonderful to see them internalize that as we repeat that lesson time and time again. They come to understand they really must make the decisions. They're in charge. And the deeper lesson is they cannot do it alone. They develop collaboration in the process of trying to discover how to survive in this game. And they develop compassion, which I think is the greatest and deepest lesson. And I don't have to teach it, I don't have to preach it. They simply discover it on their own because we provide that empty space where they're not instructed what to do. They simply discover it by being trusted to do so on their own.